You guys, I am absolutely ecstatic right now because a couple of days ago, the New England Patriots got some great news about something that we have all been worrying about for a very, very long time now, and that is the status of Christian Barmore. Now, a couple of days ago, Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel was asked about the status of Christian Barmore, in which Mike Vrabel said the following, and I quote, "He popped in the other day to see the doctors. When he walked into the training room, just his energy and presence. So I know he's feeling better. We'll continue to evaluate him. It's something very serious. We take the health of our players extremely serious, especially when we're talking about something like blood clots, and we're going to have a great plan for him." Mike Vrabel also said that he is expected to participate in the team's voluntary off-season programs that start this Monday on April 7th. Now, I want to start off by saying that obviously this is not the end-all be-all. This isn't training camp. This isn't a regular season game. This isn't even a preseason game. This doesn't necessarily mean that Christian Barmore is 100% back, but what it means is that we are one step in the right direction for getting him back for the upcoming 2025 season. Usually the voluntary offseason programs, they start off very slow, as you can imagine, but it does get physical. It's not just getting guys into meetings, talking to them, trying to get on the same page in a mental standpoint, but it's also starting to work out. This is where you're getting your body reacclimated, you're getting your body back into football shape, and then soon enough, within the next couple of weeks here, the next couple of months, we will see the team start to take the practice field again, and I think that's when we'll get a better idea of where Christian Barmore really is. I mean, it's been an absolute whirlwind when it's come to Christian Barmore over about the last year and a half. He comes out of 2023 with his best statistical season yet, and the Patriots give him an extension last offseason. Let's remember that they gave him a 4-year deal worth $84 million. That gives him about $21 million average annual value, with $41.8 million in guaranteed money. At the time, we said, this is actually a pretty damn good, reasonable deal for the Patriots, especially with where they're at. And then July. Early August came around. We're getting ready for the start of the season. We're getting ready for the Gerard Mayo era. We're getting ready for training camp. And we hear one random day when nothing is going on Patriots news-wise that Christian Barmore was diagnosed with blood clots and his future in football was at that time unknown. Long story short, we didn't see Christian Barmore really at all during the offseason program. When I say that, I mean training camp, I mean the preseason, and we really didn't see him at all during the regular season. Apparently, as the regular season progressed this past year in 2024, he was developing pretty well enough to the point where at the end of the season, he was able to appear in about 4 games before ultimately he was placed back on the IR for the final couple of games of the Patriots 2024 campaign because he had those symptoms ultimately come back. And the team, they wanted to take it safe rather than sorry, understanding that there was no reason for Christian Barmore to push himself, considering that the team was bad. They only had won 4 games. They weren't looking to be a postseason team. To be completely honest, there was no reason for Christian Barmore to come back, period. Now, I was somebody that was in the camp of if he feels like he was 100% ready, not 90, not 95, not 98, but if Christian Barmore is 100% ready to come back, I'd like to see him for the final couple of games of 2024 so that he can get himself back into football shape and hit the ground running in 2025. But it didn't sound like he was 100% ready, and that's where I wish the Patriots had just sat him down for the rest of the season. And the reason that I'm so excited about getting Christian Barmore back is really the exact reason that I alluded to early on in this video. And that is because from what we saw in 2023, he really hit the ground running as one of the better interior defensive linemen in the league, especially from a pass rush standpoint. Christian Barmore, since he was drafted by the Patriots in 2021, they traded up in the second round for him as a guy who was viewed as one, if not the best interior defensive lineman that shockingly fell to the second round. Patriots got great value, and he really had developed very, very well ever since being drafted in, again, 2021. But the Patriots made an addition this offseason that I think makes the Christian Barmore extension look that much better. And that was the addition of signing defensive tackle Milton Williams to a 4-year deal worth about $26 million average annual value. What a lot of people don't realize is that the Patriots have, if they stay healthy, one, if not the best interior defensive line in terms of a pass rush duo in the entire National Football League with Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, both of which these guys are young. They are in their prime. Both Milton Williams and Barmore, they're only 25 years old. If we go over here, according to PFF, and look at some of Barmore's numbers, these were his numbers from last year, where he again appeared in about 4 games for the Patriots before he was placed back on injured reserve. He only played in 123 snaps, again, thrown into the mix last minute, wasn't in any type of football shape, hadn't even practiced football, in months, and was still able to record 5 solo tackles and a sack. But the numbers I want to look at really are from 2023, the year he broke out and was the guy on the Patriots defensive line. Because let's remember, Matthew Judon that year got injured, week 3, week 4? So for the majority of 2023, Christian Barmore was the guy, the presence on that Patriots defensive line, and still broke out and had a baller season. He had an overall grade in 2023 of 83.8. That ranks 10th out of a qualifying 215 interior defensive linemen. He had a pass rush grade of 84.9. That ranked 8th out of a qualifying 215 defensive linemen, and a run defensive grade of 67.8, which ranked 30th out of a qualifying 215 defensive linemen. Not only did we see him break out from a pass rush standpoint, but we also saw him finally come around as a run defender. We started to say Christian Barmore really might not be a rotational guy that you put on the field, during obvious passing situations. He might be a guy that you can keep on the field as an every single down defensive lineman. On top of that, he had 43 solo tackles, 8 sacks, 13 assisted, and 1 forced fumble. He ranked 4th in the NFL in stops with 40 of them. And he also had 1 forced fumble, by the way, that ranked 7th in the league. On top of that, had 34 hurries, 7 quarterback hits, and 49 total pressures, along with 5 batted passes, a very underrated part to his game, which ranked 3rd in the league back in 2023. And I'm sure there's going to be some people saying, Colby, look, that was just 2023. How do we know that we can rely on Christian Barmore at the very least as a pass rush specialist? Well, as a pass rush specialist, that was never a question to his game. The question to Christian Barmore's game was always, can he be better against the run? Even if you look at 2022, another year in which he dealt with some injuries, he had an overall pass rush grade of 80.4, which ranked 8th among a qualifying 221 defensive linemen. So yet again, he was top 10 in pass rush. But you see that run defensive grade of 46.9, that ranked 155th out of a qualifying 221 defensive linemen. Again, that is more so where the struggles came. Even if you want to look at his rookie year, he had a pass rush grade of 75.5, which ranked 18th out of a qualifying 224 defensive linemen. You can see just how good Christian Barmore has gotten, again, from a pass rush standpoint, and has only developed and gotten better each and every single year. You pair that up with Milton Williams, who's going to be your number 1 interior defensive lineman. Now Christian Barmore can work his way back a little bit more slowly. He's not rushed. He doesn't have to be that number 1 guy. He doesn't have to be the vocal point to your defensive line. But the duo that Milton Williams and Barmore is going to have, again, if you don't think it's going to be the best in the league and you think I'm hyping it up too much, you cannot deny that it is going to be a top 3 duo in all of the NFL. Milton Williams this past season had the 3rd best pass rush grade, point blank. Not the 3rd best pass rush grade of interior defensive linemen, but just the 3rd pass rush grade, period. The 1st best pass rush grade was Aiden Hutchinson, who had a 95 overall grade. Myles Garrett was 2nd with a 92.8 overall grade. Milton Williams comes in 3rd with a 91.7 overall grade. Michael Parsons comes in at 4 with 91.6, and Chris Jones comes in at 91.5. Milton Williams had a better pass rush grade than Chris Jones and Michael Parsons. He had the best pass rush grade out of all interior defensive linemen. You pair that up with Christian Barmore, and that is a scary thought. Look, you guys know why I love interior defensive linemen that can get to the quarterback. I think that they are very rare in today's league, especially those guys that can be an every down defensive lineman, guys that are not so predictable. They can stop the run, they can get to the quarterback. Everybody wants to talk about having good edge rushers, and that's definitely important. But when you have good edge rushers, but you don't have a good interior of that D line that can get to the quarterback, that can collapse the pocket, opposing quarterbacks are just going to step up into the pocket, have an extra a second or two, and still deliver a pass. When a pocket breaks down, the offensive line breaks down from an interior perspective. There's nowhere for the quarterback to go. And I look at the Patriots instance, whether it's Christian Barmore, whether it's Milton Williams, whether it is both of those guys, they're going to create havoc on opposing quarterbacks. And I look at someone like Harold Landry, and I think we are going to see one of the best seasons for Harold Landry in terms of total sack count that we've seen over the last few years. Harold Landry is more of a cleanup guy. He's not a number one edge rusher. He's not an overall great pass rusher. But over the last few years, especially in Tennessee with Mike Vrabel, Harold Landry has had a high sack number because he was more of a finisher. He had quarterbacks flushed out because of the other guys on the D-line, and he was a guy that came in and just finished the play. Think about it. Milton Williams, Christian Barmore, play breaks down. The quarterback escapes the pocket trying to get away from both of those guys, and you got Harold Landry coming off the edge and finishing with the sack. This Patriots defensive line is going to look day and night, and Christian Barmore is going to be a big reason because of that. Again, this isn't the end-all be-all, but this is 100% a step in the right direction and exactly what the Patriots needed. But guys, this is where I kick it off to you. What are your thoughts on Christian Barmore returning to the New England Patriots and expected to participate in the voluntary offseason program? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and, of course, subscribe to the channel for all your New England Patriots news, thoughts, analysis, reactions, breakdowns, all of that good stuff. Make sure you guys look at becoming a member of the channel. Join in the description box below. But of course, until then, I'm Colby Cochran. Go Pats.